My name is Dalyn Houser. I'm the Program Associate with Florida PIRG, Public Interest Research Group.
And what does Florida PIRG do?
Florida PIRG is a statewide consumer advocacy organization, and they work on standing up to special interests, such as the food industry, and working to get them to do their job and protect consumers.
You have a new report about food safety. Tell me the title and what you found.
Sure. So the title is Food Safety Scares 2013, and essentially we analyzed data from the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, just for 1 year, between October 2012 and 2013. We found that essentially 48 million people get sick from eating tainted food each year, and that despite trying to put new regulations in place, such as the Food Safety Modernization Act of 2011, that the foodborne illness incidence rise has essentially remained stagnant and is potentially even getting worse. So we found that a number of food has been causing significant illnesses. I can throw some numbers out there for you to show you how significant it is. So this, just in 1 year alone, 1,494 foodborne illnesses were linked to multi-state outbreaks. 335 hospitalizations occurred. 615 incidences of salmonella, 2 deaths from foodborne illness in just 1 year, and 643 incidences of cyclospora, which is also foodborne illness. So these are very significant high numbers, and another issue with this is that these can turn into chronic issues. So women are miscarrying who develop these problems. One of the foods that was recalled was Trader Joe's peanut butter, and so many children were sickened by that. So these illnesses can cause chronic issues like kidney failure, and if a woman is pregnant and carrying a child, then it can lead to paralysis, blindness, things like that in their child if they are infected with listeria or other types of foodborne illnesses.
How is it that Congress passes new legislation that's supposed to reduce the amount of foodborne illness and the levels stay steady? Why is that happening?
So the main problem, there are 2 problems here with this. The first one is that there is not enough funding in place to do so. So Obama did increase funding to go to the FDA. However, their turnaround time for regulations is extremely slow. So companies have 18 months to enact food safety regulation, and that's just unacceptable. Also, along with that, they have a period of 5 years where they are allotted to inspect high-risk food facilities. So 5 years is a ridiculously long time, and after that inspection, then they don't have to have reinspection for another 3 years. So it's a matter of really lack of funding. There are not enough employees to inspect these facilities, so that's a major issue. Another major problem is that our federal food system is very spread out, and the Government Accountability Office basically came out with a quote for the study saying that our food system is fragmented here in the United States, and essentially around 15 different organizations and entities are responsible for the regulation of our food safety. So this new act that was passed by Congress, the Food Safety Modernization Act, is only one part of it. They only affect the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. That's just one entity that regulates things. So the Food Safety Improvement Services, which is another entity that regulates our food, such as our meat, poultry, and eggs, aren't even included in this at all. So they do not require the same regulations that were passed in the 2011 Act. So essentially, with meat, eggs, and poultry, there can be no mandatory recalls. There can be no sort of mandatory inspections or things like that were implemented in the 2011 Act.
How is the safety of foreign food compared to food that's grown or farmed here?
Well, I think that definitely there is an issue going on with the safety of foreign food. I think there's also a problem here in the United States, but it seems like it's a more significant issue with foreign food, especially with the way the food is handled and the hygiene of workers. And yeah, definitely, I think probably a bigger problem with foreign imports. And part of the new act that was passed in 2011 is supposed to address that. And so now this act is supposed to put forth regulation which would require food companies in the United States who purchase from foreign companies to actually test the food and be accountable for the food that they're selling through these foreign companies.
What are some things that consumers can look out for? Are there certain foods to watch out for, or certain labels to look for?
Absolutely. So there are definitely a few that we have had recalled, and just some of them haven't even been recalled, so you should definitely watch out and not even purchase this food. So the Trader Joe's peanut butter, which was produced in New Mexico by Trader Joe's Valencia peanut butter. This has caused a huge amount of salmonella outbreaks, so you should definitely throw away any sort of peanut butter from Trader Joe's, I would say, that you have. This is something that has a long shelf life, so people keep peanut butter, throw it away. Bag salad has been another issue from a number of different companies. And this causes E. coli, the 0157 strain. And I'm trying to give you a specific name here. So we have cucumbers also from Miracle Greenhouse, which is a Mexico cucumber supplier. Also, was very surprising to me, but Foster Farms chicken, they have had around 338 outbreaks of Salmonella Heidelberg across 20 states. And 42% of people were hospitalized due to this. And it has still not been recalled because meat and poultry are not part of the Food Safety Modernization Act. So that's scary. And yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, that's okay. Sure, there are a few more. So let's see. Frozen berries have been linked to hepatitis A, which is very scary. And Townsend Farms, which is a very, very large company, is the one that has been having outbreaks due to that. Also, Listeria outbreaks from Crave Brothers Farmstead cheeses has been an issue as well. And these are just the ones that have been reported, and we know that there are probably many other things out there that have not been caught.
What should Congress do, or what should the president do, or the federal administrations that deal with, let me begin that question again.
Mm-hmm.
What should Congress or the president do to make food more safe? What can people do to encourage that?
So I think that there are a number of things that need to happen. Firstly, Congress needs to give the FDA the sufficient funding it needs to enact these regulations and make sure that food safety is a priority. We do not have the funding in place or the manpower or employees to make sure that food is being inspected carefully. That's a huge problem. Another thing is that the FDA needs to ensure timely implementation of the Food Safety Modernization Act regulations. So instead of taking months to come back from these programs and put them in place, we need to do it a lot faster, since this is a really huge issue and severely affecting people's health. Also, we need to have more frequent and unannounced inspections of high-risk food facilities. Like I said earlier, there's a 5-year limit. There's a 5-year time window that requires inspection. So that needs to be significantly increased, I would say. And then also, we just need to, this is very important. We need to make sure that there's better connectivity between the 15 or so different entities that regulate our food system. Since we have the USDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the FSIS, the Food Safety Inspection Services, and also the Food Drug Administration. These are just some of the key players. There are also others. We need to make sure that these people are held accountable and work together, and that we don't have a fragmented system like this any longer. I think that's a key point.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Sean.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.